Yeah, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing checking back in with y'all, man. What's happening? Good morning. Hope everybody doing well out there. Caleb Plant, a few days ago in an interview with Fight Hype, he said that he would be available in September. Now, before we get into that, of course, we have coronavirus pandemic going on. We really don't know when boxing will be back active. Hopefully, I'm just assuming and hoping that by that time, things will be somewhat back to normal. If you look at, right now, the NFL is going through their NFL draft, and they generally start back with the season. Preseason is normally like end of August. You got that regular season normally starts in September. So I just assume that sports will be back active by that time. And hopefully boxing will be as well globally. So going back to what Caleb Plant said about being available in September, of course, this is in reference to Canelo Alvarez. Now, Canelo Alvarez is planning to come back in September, like he has been for the last few years, been fighting in May and September, Mexican holidays, Floyd Mayweather blueprint. You dig what I'm saying? And if you go back to Caleb Plant, he fought earlier this year. I believe it was late January, early February, sometime in February, I think it was. And he had a title defense where he put on a spectacular performance, a beautiful display of boxing, fought a tough guy with power, guy that wasn't easy to stop, wasn't easy to, to just run over and just do what you want. And, Caleb Plant was in there, man, just putting his punches together, showing the elite talent with the speed, the combinations, the head movement. Caleb Plant is a very, very skilled fighter. He really can do everything that you need and want from a boxer in that ring. I mean, he got the footwork, he got the defense, the head movement. He got lateral movement. He got power, just enough pop and power on his punches to make you respect him. And he also got the ability to stop you if he hit you with the right punch at the right time. The hand speed and the combinations, the punch variation, the diversity in his punch combinations and stuff like that. That's probably my favorite thing about Caleb Plant. I mean, he's a spectacle to watch when you're watching him put his punches together on offense. Very, very good fighter in his prime right now, looking good, champion. And he came off of a great performance. Canelo Alvarez, of course, was already planning to fight in May, which was only like 2.5 months away. So maybe about, 1 or 2 weeks after Caleb Plant's fight, there was talks about Golden Boy and Canelo Alvarez offering Caleb Plant a fight. Now, Caleb Plant did not accept that fight, and for good reason, because coming off of a fight, you gotta, number one, you gotta take some time to rest. On top of that, you gotta have an 8 to 10 week training camp. That fight would have only been maybe 2.5 months at the most away from the date of Canelo Alvarez wanting to fight next. So it just wouldn't have been a smart move. Now, a lot of people say, well, he ducked, he turned down an opportunity. Well, you got to look at it like this. Canelo Alvarez did this same thing with Sergey Kovalev. Sergey Kovalev had a fight with Anthony Yard, and then he had a fight lined up with Canelo Alvarez. I don't even think it was 2 months after that fight. The difference between Caleb Plant and Sergey Kovalev is that Kovalev was an older fighter just looking to get paid. I think he was just looking to get cashed out. You dig what I'm saying? Just to be quite honest, I think Sergey Kovalev was just simply looking for a paycheck, and he didn't care if the fight was going to be next week. He's fighting Canelo Alvarez. Canelo is a huge star in boxing, one of the biggest names in the sport of boxing. you know you're going to get paid when you fight Canelo Alvarez. But Caleb Plant is a guy that he's not in it just for the money. He actually believes that he's one of the best, and he wants to fight the best, and he wants to put on the best performance. So he knows that, hey, I'm not going to be able to give my best performance without having the proper rest, the proper training camp, and the proper time to prepare for a guy like Canelo Alvarez, a guy of that skill level, a guy of that experience and ability. So I think he did the smart thing. Now, Canelo Alvarez wanting to fight next in September, like traditionally he's been doing for the past few years. Caleb Plant is saying, hey, look, I've had the time. We've all had time to rest and time to get things together. I don't have a fight lined up. You don't have a fight lined up. Canelo Alvarez has been talking about fighting Gennady Golovkin in September for a third fight, which quite honestly, I don't want to see that fight. I don't think, I felt Canelo won the first and the second match. You know, first fight was officially a draw. Canelo Alvarez convincingly won in the second fight. But I felt like Canelo Alvarez did enough to win both fights. I really don't see a point in a third fight. Now, hey, you know, if you want to say that Triple G deserved a third fight, I guess that's valid. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a draw, there was a win by Canelo. Hey, you can make a valid point and say that he deserves a third fight. I don't have a problem with that. But if you're asking me what I would want as a boxing fan, I would rather see Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant. I think it's a great fight. I think that's a fight that both fighters have equal chance at winning. I would give it, I would say, just based off of the experience in title and championship fights, and also with level of competition, just all the way around the board, as far as like the experience level, I think you got to get an edge to Canelo. I would say right now, I'm thinking 55-45 for Canelo. I think that much of Caleb Plant. I think Caleb Plant has a great shot at winning this fight. I think he has the tools that could rival Canelo as far as the boxing ability, the footwork, being able to hit and not get hit, but also he has enough offense to be able to win rounds against Canelo. Now, it's going to be tough to beat Canelo Alvarez on the scorecard. Canelo has historically gotten very, very questionable wins on the scorecards, you know, but I think it's possible. Of course, we've seen Floyd do it, but Floyd is a whole nother type of fighter. Even they tried to make that fight closer than what it was. They called Floyd versus Canelo a majority decision when Canelo maybe won 1 or 2 rounds in that whole fight. That was an easy wash, a unanimous decision, and Floyd wasn't running in that fight. He was staying right there and making Canelo miss in the pocket, and he was hitting and not getting hit, the definition of the sweet science. You know, if you go back and look at the Erislandy Lara fight, which I also felt like Lara won that fight versus Canelo, you could have made a small case for Canelo winning that fight because Lara was a little bit too defensive in that fight. I think Caleb Plant has the perfect balance to be able to make Canelo miss punches, to play defense just enough to not take a lot of punishment. But I feel like he also has the offense ability to be able to score on Canelo and make it look good to the judges and possibly pull out a victory. But he got to make that decision wide enough. He got to make that performance got to be wide enough to where it's just undoubtedly and unquestionable at all in order to win on the scorecards versus Canelo. Other than that, he's going to have to get some knockdowns, get a stoppage, which I don't see him stopping Canelo. But anything can happen in boxing. You know, so I really give Caleb Plant a great chance at winning that fight versus Canelo. You know, I think it's a great fight to watch, man. And, you know, I hope that they go ahead and talk that shit out. Caleb Plant, Canelo, y'all work out a deal. Make that happen because I want to see that. It's a unification match at 168. You know, so let's make that happen, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments about this fight and how y'all see it panning out. Contender regime, boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.